Part 1. The Invitation. The waterfall cave on Flower Fruit Mountain was buzzing with excitement. An angel! An angel is here! The little monkey shouted, pointing at the sky. A cloud descended slowly, carrying an old man with a long white beard and a kindly face. He held a whisk in his hand and wore robes that shimmered like starlight. This was the gold star of Venus, Tai Bai Jing-sing, the great diplomat of heaven. Sun Wukong sat on his throne, wearing his golden armor. "Who are you?" he asked, trying to look important. "And why are you trespassing on my mountain?" Venus bowed politely. "I am the gold star of Venus, a messenger from the Jade Emperor. His Majesty has heard of your magical powers and your acquisition of the way. He invites you to ascend to the high heavens and accept a divine post as an immortal official." Wukong jumped out of his chair. "A job in heaven? You mean I can live up there?" "Indeed," Venus smiled. "You will live in the clouds, dine on ambrosia, and walk the golden streets." "Wonderful!" Wukong clapped his hands. "I was just thinking about visiting heaven, and here you are inviting me. Let's go!" Wukong turned to his generals. "You four keep the monkeys safe. Drill them hard. I am going to heaven to get a job. If it's good, I'll bring you all up later to live with me." "Yes, Your Majesty!" the monkeys cheered. "Follow me," Venus said, stepping onto his cloud. "The journey is long, so we whoosh!" Before Venus could finish his sentence, Wukong had already performed a cloud somersault. He vanished instantly, leaving the old man coughing in his dust. "Wait!" Venus yelled, paddling his cloud as fast as it would go. "You don't know the way! And the guards won't let you in without me." Part 2. The Fish Out of Water. Wukong arrived at the southern heavenly gate in the blink of an eye. It was breathtaking. The gate was made of green jade and glowing crystal. Pillars wrapped in gold dragons held up the sky. Wukong tried to walk in, but he was blocked by the gatekeeper, the massive Growth King. He was 30 feet tall, holding a giant sword, and surrounded by generals in flaming armor. "Halt!" the king shouted. "Where do you think you are going, you wild monkey?" "I am an invited guest," Wukong argued. "The old man Venus invited me." "I don't see Venus," the king growled. "I just see a monkey! Scram!" Wukong was about to pull out his golden staff and start a fight when Venus finally puffed up the cloud ramp, out of breath. "Stop! Stop!" Venus wheezed. "He is with me." The guards lowered their weapons. Venus glared at Wukong. "You are too fast. In heaven, you must follow protocol. Stay behind me." They walked through the gate. Wukong's jaw dropped. Heaven was a city of light. There were 33 celestial palaces and 72 treasure halls. The flowers never died. The stars were used as lanterns. Cranes danced in the sky, and the air smelled of sweet incense. They entered the hall of miraculous mist, the throne room of the universe. Rows of gods, generals, and ministers stood in silence. At the far end, shrouded in golden light, sat the Jade Emperor. Venus bowed low, touching his forehead to the floor. "Your Majesty, I have brought the primitive immortal, Sun Wukong, as you commanded." Wukong stood there, looking around. He didn't bow, he just gave a little wave. "Hello there! I'm here." The entire court gasped. "Insolence!" a minister shouted. "Why do you not kneel before the ruler of the universe, you wild beast? You should be executed." Wukong scratched his head. "But I haven't met him before. Why should I kneel?" The Jade Emperor raised a hand to silence the court. He looked at Wukong with mild amusement. "He is a creature of the earth," the emperor said. "He does not know court etiquette. We will forgive his rudeness this time." The emperor looked at his list of job openings. "Star-Lord of Literature, do we have any vacancies?" "Your Majesty," the Star-Lord replied, checking his scroll, "most positions are full. The only opening is in the Imperial Stables. We need a supervisor." "Excellent," the Jade Emperor nodded. "Sun Wukong, I appoint you as the Bi Ma Wen, the keeper of the heavenly horses. It is an official rank." "Do you accept?" Wukong didn't know what a Bi Ma Wen was, but it sounded fancy. "I accept." "I accept!" Part 3. The Best Stable Boy in the Universe. For the next 2 weeks, Wukong took his job very seriously. He was in charge of 1,000 heavenly horses. These weren't normal horses. Some could fly, some breathed fire, and some ran as fast as lightning. Wukong was a fantastic boss. He woke up early to feed them. He brushed their coats until they shined like mirrors. He took them out for exercise across the Milky Way. Under his care, the skinny horses got fat, and the tired horses became energetic. Wukong was happy. He thought he was a big shot. One evening, the other stable officials threw a welcome banquet for him. They drank wine and ate beef. "Sir," one official said, "you are doing a great job. The horses have never looked better." Wukong smiled, swirling his wine. "Tell me, this title, Bi Ma Wen, what rank is it exactly?" The table went quiet. The officials looked at each other. "Well," one whispered, "it doesn't exactly have a rank." "Oh," Wukong brightened. "You mean it is too high to be ranked, like a super minister?" "No," the official coughed. "It means it is unclassified. It is the lowest of the low. You are a head stable boy. You clean up the dung and feed the animals. If you do a good job, you get a nod. If you make a mistake, you get punished. You are basically a servant." Wukong froze. The wine cup cracked in his hand. "A servant?" Wukong's voice was low and dangerous. I am the handsome Monkey King. I have 72 transformations. I have the golden staff. And he made me a stable boy? Wukong kicked the table over. Crash! Dishes and food flew everywhere. This is an insult! Wukong roared, pulling out his golden staff from his ear. I am leaving! I'm not working for these snobs anymore. He stormed out of the stables, fought his way past the southern heavenly gate, and somersaulted back to earth. Part 4. The Great Sage Equal to Heaven. When he landed on Flower Fruit Mountain, his monkey subjects were surprised. "Your Majesty, you've been gone for 15 years. Did you miss us?" 15 years? Wukong blinked. I was only gone for 2 weeks. Time is different in heaven, the old gibbon explained. 1 day in heaven is 1 year on earth. Well, Wukong spat, those 15 years were a waste of time. They humiliated me. They made me a horse cleaner. While he was venting his anger, 2 visitors arrived. They were powerful, one-horned demon kings from a nearby mountain. They brought gifts of yellow robes and golden armor. "We heard the Monkey King was back," they said. "We want to join your army." "Welcome," Wukong said. "But I am in a bad mood. Heaven looked down on me." "Why does your Majesty need heaven?" one demon king asked. "You have magic. You have power." "If they call you a stable boy, why don't you give yourself a better title?" "Like what?" "How about the Great Sage Equal to Heaven?" Wukong's eyes lit up. "Equal to heaven, yes, that sounds right. From now on, that is my name." He ordered his monkeys to make a massive banner with the words "Great Sage Equal to Heaven" written in gold and hung it on the highest peak of the mountain. Part 5. The First War. Back in heaven, the Jade Emperor was furious. That monkey smashed the stable, beat up the guards, and ran away. The Emperor slammed his fist on the table. "Who can go down and capture this rebel?" "I will go." A tall, broad-shouldered general stepped forward. He held a golden pagoda in his hand. This was Pagoda Bearer Li, the Grand Marshal of Heaven. "And I will go too," said a young boy standing next to him. The boy looked like a teenager, but his eyes were fierce. He wore red silk trousers and had 2 buns in his hair. He carried a fire-tipped spear and rode on wheels of wind and fire. This was Prince Nasia, the 3rd Lotus Prince. "Good," said the Jade Emperor. "Take the army of the mighty spirits. Bring me that monkey in chains." The heavenly army descended. They darkened the sky above Flower Fruit Mountain. Drums beat like thunder. Lightning flashed. General Li stood on a cloud and shouted, "Which one of you is the horse keeper, Bi Ma Wen?" Wukong flew up, wearing his new title on a sash. "I am the great sage equal to heaven." "If you promote me to this title, I will put away my staff. If not, I will smash your cloud." "You arrogant flea!" General Li signaled his vanguard. "Giant spirit god!" "Crush him!" A massive giant wielding 2 huge axes leaped down. He was 50 feet tall. He swung his axe at Wukong's head. Wukong didn't move. He just held up his staff. Clang! The axe shattered. Wukong laughed. "You are big, but you are slow." He jumped onto the giant's head and smacked him with the flat of his staff. The giant spirit god ran away crying. "Useless!" General Li shouted. "Nasia, you go!" Part 6. Wukong versus Nasia. Prince Nasia flew forward on his flaming wheels. "So you are the brat causing all this trouble?" Nasia sneered. Wukong looked at the boy. "Who are you, little baby? Did you get lost looking for your mommy? Go home and drink some milk before you get hurt." Nasia turned red with anger. "I am the 3rd prince of heaven." "Die!" Nasia shouted a spell. "Change!" Suddenly, Nasia grew 3 heads and 6 arms. He pulled out 6 weapons, a demon-slashing sword, a hacking saber, a binding rope, a pestle, an embroidered ball, and his fire-tipped spear. He spun toward Wukong like a buzzsaw of death. Wukong was impressed. "Hey, that's a neat trick. I can do that too." Wukong shouted, "Change!" And he also grew 3 heads and 6 arms. He multiplied his golden staff into 3 staves. Clang! Boom! Crash! The fight shook the earth. They fought for 30 rounds. The sound of their weapons colliding was so loud, it caused earthquakes in the ocean. Wukong realized this boy was actually tough. He needed to be clever. In the middle of a clash, Wukong plucked a hair and blew on it. Change! The hair turned into a clone of Wukong. The clone attacked Nasia from the front. Nasia blocked it. But the real Wukong had sneaked behind him. Whack! Wukong hit Nasia squarely on the left shoulder with his heavy golden staff. Nasia cried out in pain. He almost fell off his wheels. Realizing he couldn't win, he turned his wheels around and fled back to the clouds. "Run away, little prince!" Wukong laughed, pointing his staff at the sky. "And tell your emperor, if he doesn't give me the title Great Sage Equal to Heaven, I will fly up there and take his throne from myself." Part 7. Appeasement. General Li and Prince Nasia returned to heaven, defeated and ashamed. "Your Majesty," General Li reported, "the monkey is too strong. His magic staff is unbreakable, and his clones are tricky. He demands to be called the Great Sage Equal to Heaven." "Preposterous!" the Jade Emperor scowled. "Send the entire army! Send the lightning gods!" Wait, the spirit of Venus stepped forward again. "Your Majesty," Venus soothed, "war wastes energy. The monkey wants a fancy title. Let him have it." "The title, Great Sage Equal to Heaven, is just empty words. We can give him the title, build him a house in the sky, but give him no actual power and no salary. That way, he feels important, but he can't cause trouble. The Jade Emperor thought about it. Fine, Venus, go get him again. Venus flew down to the mountain. This time, Wukong was waiting. "You old liar!" Wukong shouted. "You tricked me into being a horse cleaner!" No, misunderstanding," Venus said quickly. "The Emperor was impressed by your victory." "He agrees that you are too talented for the stables. He has agreed to your demands. He wants to appoint you formally as the great sage equal to heaven." "Really?" Wukong dropped his staff. "He's not lying? We have already built a mansion for you next to the peach garden," Venus promised. Wukong grinned. "Well then, why didn't you say so earlier? Let's go." And so, Sun Wukong returned to heaven. He got his fancy title. He got his fancy house. He spent his days eating, drinking, and wandering around the clouds with nothing to do. But as the old saying goes, idle hands are the devil's workshop. Putting a bored monkey next to the garden of immortal peaches was the biggest mistake heaven ever made.